You are now tuned in to the Jmack Experience Podcast.
All right, we're back, and we got a special guest on the show today. It's an honor to be in your presence, my brother. Thank you so much for showing up. I appreciate it. How are you feeling today, man?
I'm feeling good, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to shout out the sponsors real quick. Shout outs to Black Sheep Sea Moss. Make sure you hit him up for your Black Sheep Sea Moss gel. And you can also contact him under Raul Delgado. And shout outs to Motivated by Mathematics for the official t-shirt, man. I appreciate this so much. Make sure you hit him up for the merch. And also tap in with him. He's doing a lot of great, positive things for the community. You know
Mathematics, my boy.
Yeah, that's
good man
what's up.
right there. That's a good man.
Yeah. He definitely came through. He actually was here last week, and we caught a vibe and shit. So stay tuned for that, episode 61. And, what else how you been lately? Like, what's going on mentally? I like to ask these things before we begin because a lot of people don't like to check on others. You know what I mean? They just want to get right to it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Everybody's all about themselves.
Exactly.
And moving forward and pushing everybody out of the way. I'm doing pretty good now. December, January, it's tough for this business.
Right.
Everybody's spending their money on Christmas. Nobody wants to shoot in the cold.
Exactly.
And I always get a little worried every winter. I'm like, oh, where are the jobs? Where are the jobs? And then all of a sudden they come and everything gets good, So I had a busy weekend. I shot some videos, so everything's cool.
So you're pretty much always busy, more or less. You always got stuff to do, always projects that you're working on.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't have something paid that I'm doing, I always have side stuff. I have shows that I've shot all the way back from 2020 that I haven't even edited.
Wow.
I guess the other day I just dropped a Benny the Butcher from 2021 from Big Night Live that it's just sitting there.
Yeah, I was seeing that. Yo, not for nothing. You work with a lot of great artists, a lot of credentials under your belt. We're going to get into all that. Thanks again for coming on the show once again. It's an honor to be in your presence. Let's get into the intro real quick, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to the Jmack Experience Podcast. This show is for motivational purposes only. However, we will not be politically correct, but our goal is to inspire those who listen and watch the show. Thanks for tuning in. Please be sure to follow us at the Jmack Experience Podcast and email us if you would like to be a guest on our platform at the Jmack Experience Podcast at gmail.com. Peace.
Once again, man, it's an honor to be in your presence. Thank you so much for showing up. Now, I like to usually start from the very beginning. For those who are not familiar with who you are, what's your name and where are you from?
Well, my government is Scott Sandonato.
Nice.
I go by SandoFilms. That's what everybody calls me. Either SandoFilms or Sando. And I grew up on the South Shore of Boston in a small town called Hull, which is also Nantasket Beach.
Gotcha.
And growing up, I wasn't the most popular kid in school. I got beat up. I got pushed around. I wasn't, it was tough for me.
You were bullied back in the day? They were bullying you?
I was bullied by my older brother. I mean,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, when I got into my teens, like 14 years old, I heard The Message by Grandmaster Flash.
Got you.
And I just was hooked, man. That was it. And then breakdancing came out, and I did all the breakdancing stuff. And hip-hop it became a part of my life. Like, listening to that song, The Message, like, I heard a story of an urban life that I didn't understand or didn't know about. Right. I was just intrigued by it. And just the beat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Broken glass everywhere. That's that shit right there.
I was hooked right away. It's always been my first love is hip hop.
That's fine. So I'm guessing that because you said more or less you were from Mass, more or less, right?
Oh yeah, I'm originally from Mass. I moved to Pawtucket 2021.
Gotcha. So when you went to New York City for the first time, you must have been like, "Oh shit, this is really what it is." You know what I'm saying? Like that's where it started.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. So what was it like, more or less, like growing up as a kid? Like, do you come from like a single parent household? You got any siblings?
No. Two parents, older brother. Greatest parents in the world. They're still together this day.
Nice. Shout outs to them.
They were very supportive. I was quite a troublemaker up through 18 to probably 34.
Yeah,
I put them through hell, man. Like, I was on the streets selling drugs. Like, it was bad.
You was living that life.
I was living that life, and I didn't need to because I came from a good family. Home. But like the thing was, when I was younger and I wasn't that popular, like, he didn't know how to talk to girls, none of that. It was like crazy. And then I met these dudes and like, oh, we're selling weed. And it turned from selling a couple joints to 100 pounds a week, and it just got out of control. And then I was that guy. Yeah. I was the guy at the party with the girls wanted to talk to, and it turned me like I was the cool guy now.
Yeah. Because when you got money, that's how it is, right? Everybody wants to be your friend.
It just turned into a whole nother thing. And, then we got caught. I ended up blacking out, get probation. Damn. Then I stopped. And then I got involved in the club scene, started doing ecstasy and all that stuff. Then I started selling ecstasy in the club, and then it just...
Oh, ecstasy, I had some good times on that.
All the way to age 34, I got busted trafficking.
Again.
I did 2 years in Plymouth.
Damn.
And then when I got out, I needed to make a change.
Facts. I like that. So you pretty much went from a good household, but then you wanted to live that street life more or less, right? Being validated, we could say, right?
I would say so.
And then you got into trust. So you had like a wake up call the second time that you ended up getting arrested, what we could say more or less?
Yeah, jail that was a wake up call. I mean, you see people coming in and out of there. I was working in property, so I get to see everybody coming in and out. Right. I seen people go home and come back later that day. And I was like, I'm not going to be that guy. Like this was my wake up call to like, I gotta make some changes, and I gotta, I'm 34 years old with no career, no schooling, nothing. I gotta do something.
I like that. So like, who inspired you? Because I'm assuming when you got out, who inspired you to get into film and directing music videos? Okay,
so it's kind of a couple people. So when I first got out, my father had built this building. It was like a detail shop down in Hull, and he wanted me to come work with him. And I worked with him for a few years. It wasn't that successful because of where the location was. Right. Hull is a peninsula. And you get to the end, you don't go through another town. Right. We were down that end. But it was a good opportunity because I said, I want to really do something with video, So one of my best friends, Tom Chia, he's like one of the top Taekwondo coaches in the country.
Shout outs to him.
Out of Warwick, Rhode Island. He came down, he had his own video camera. It was a 4K, but it was a video camera. And he says, why don't you come and film the kids at the tournaments? Yeah. So I came out, I did it with him. And, we came back, we watched the footage. He's like, this is like ESPN. So he's like, you have the eye to do this.
So you were that good on the first take?
Yeah. I mean, see, the thing is I was a big, studier of a film growing up. Like, people go to see, you watch the movies, you feel the story. I look at angles.
Oh, I look at lighting.
Okay, gotcha. So I look at film differently. I think unless people that are in this business, they kind of see those things too.
Exactly.
And the thing I wanted to be was a film director, and so this was kind of route. So I started out doing the Taekwondo, and he took me all over the country. I got to film Olympians. I went to the U.S. Open in Vegas. It was crazy. So then I started the first time I went out to film with him when we went out of state. He made me a jacket and a hat that's at SandoFilms. He made me up a logo and it was like official.
That would have made. How did that make you feel more or less? You felt like, wow, I'm really doing this more or less, right?
Coming from being a nobody to finally having some kind of recognition, and in the Taekwondo world, it's worldwide. Right. So like my name kind of got out there a little bit. Yeah. So I did that with him for a long time, and he helped me learn the editing process too, because he's an Asian guy, so he knows all about photography and video and all that stuff. He's just a master of it. So he showed me the basics, and
so he was like Mr. Miyagi and shit.
Yeah, he was my Mr. Miyagi. I mean, I think he can even catch a fly with the chopsticks.
Yeah.
But so I did that, and then I hooked up with this guy Mike Yeba, and he's an actor, writer, director, and he's been in a bunch of different movies. And he was looking for somebody to help him film a documentary about the drug epidemic in Boston. Yeah. So I guess he put out a thing on Facebook. We're looking for people to do it. I was the only guy that showed up, and I worked with him, and I learned a little bit more about DSLR cameras because I was always working on a video camera, and it was a good experience, And then after that, he'd given my name to Jimmy Wahlberg.
Jimmy Wahlberg?
Yeah,
Holy
who's Mark's
shit.
brother.
That's fucking crazy.
He called me up and he says, I want you to come and just shoot some behind the scenes on this short film I'm working on. I'm like, all right. So I go up there and I'm working on the film. He puts me in the film with Mike Yeba as a drug dealer. We were two drug dealers at the table. We had the thing all.
Oh, that's dope. So you actually starred in the film too?
Originally, I was just a PA on the film. But I brought my camera. So I just started filming little things throughout the week we were
dope.
there. And then the last day I said, hey, why don't you just say a couple words with the camera about everything? He was, well, what are you doing? I said, just trust me.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, I sent him this thing. It was a whole behind the scenes of the whole movie with him talking over. He was like, this is unbelievable. So he hired me for a bunch more stuff, and we were doing these opioid summits across the country, which he would go and speak, and they would have a bunch of speakers, a lot of mothers that lost their kids to heroin addiction. It was like 20,000 kids in an arena. So I was filming those, and it was for the Mark Wahlberg Youth Foundation.
So I just want to, like, there's a major point here that I want everyone to know, like the people that are watching. This is called more or less like going above and beyond, right? Because you said that it was something that they didn't ask you to do. You just took the initiative and you said, let me do this, let me do that. You did your own project. And that's what people don't understand sometimes. Sometimes when you show that you're really like, this is something that you want to do, you have a passion for it, it could lead to other things is what I'm trying to get to.
I agree.
Had you just been there just to do your part and that's it, you probably would have not had these other opportunities. And then,
doing stuff like that, like I never really had any ambition to do anything.
Right.
But this is something I really loved.
You have a passion for it.
And I had to do work for free for a couple of years before I could actually start getting paid, because you can't just come out and say, hey, I could shoot a music video. And then like, what are you going to show me? You got something to show me. So when it came to music videos, I started working with Hush Harding out of Weymouth, Mass.
Shout outs to him.
And this kid's unbelievable. He raps, he produces, he does music videos. His effects are insane. The kid's like, and he's killing it on Facebook as far as monetization and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So he showed a lot of my first music videos I shot on a tripod. They were very stiff. And he was like, you got to get the camera. You got to move around. And he really, really crafted it and showed me how to shoot a music video.
Like he gave you the ins and outs pretty much.
Interesting. Yeah. So I worked with him a couple of years. Great kid. We're still friends. And then I kind of went off on my own and just, started building. And so one of my major things was, filming shows.
Gotcha.
And it's hard to get into shows with a camera unless you know somebody.
Right.
So every time I would go to a show, if I couldn't get in the front door, I'd try to find a way in the back door.
Yeah.
And then I hooked up with Leeds Entertainment. He used to throw some of the biggest hip hop shows in Boston out of the Middle East.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I grabbed him, I pulled him aside one time, and I said, listen, I got a deal for you. If you give me the tickets to whatever show I want, let me bring my camera in, give me backstage access, I'll give you a 1-minute promo for every show that I do.
Damn, I like the hustle.
For nothing. Yeah. All right? So in my mind is like, all right, so when I do a show, I'm going to find out who's opening.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to hit up those openers and say, hey, I can shoot you a performance for $150. So then
giving us game.
He was getting his free promo. I was shooting major artists and putting my name on it and then making $600 off the opener.
Look at that shit. And
so that's the hustle.
And you're making connections too.
Making connections as well. So the hustle is like, so all those years of drug dealing, I just took that mentality and
Flipped
I
it.
put it into something else. I'd already lived that street life a little bit, so I spoke the language.
Yeah.
And a lot of the artists I work with were former drug dealers or still are.
Yeah.
So I speak their language. And it's just it just turned into something crazy, man.
Yo, I like it. So speaking about music videos, like how do you when you collaborate with artists, how do you shape the narrative of their music video more or less?
Well, it all depends on the song.
Right.
If you got a song that's a story track, I'll get a song sometimes and I'll listen to it and it'll just come to me, images of what I want to put to what that music is. Most of the rap, hip hop is a lot. It's rapidy rap. It's rhyming stuff. But every once in a while you get that song that's a story track, and then you, instead of just doing a performance, you want to have that story playing out with minimal performance.
Exactly.
And it's like a mini movie. And now I'm at the point where I'm actually a film director. I'm making a short movie within a music video.
Yeah.
And every artist is different. Sometimes they'll ask me to write a treatment. Sometimes I have artists that come with the treatment already written.
So it's less work for you.
Well, it's less work for me, but then I'll read the treatment and then I'll add what I need to add to it.
Dope.
And then we'll collaborate together.
Nice.
But when an artist does come with a treatment, I know that they give a shit about their music. They're really putting in that work to make their video the best it can be. And I'm the guy who has to bring that vision
and bring it to life. Yeah, because it could be I'm just like you said, you'll know who's serious, who's not. Because if you ask someone, what's your vision for this video? I remember the first music video I did. That happened to me, I'm going to be honest. And it wasn't that I didn't give a shit about it. It's just we don't know these things sometimes. But the way you're looking at it, it's always good to do your research. No, so you're if he doesn't know what the fuck he wants to do, already that's like a red flag, more or less. Like, you know, like where we go from here, or you know, he must not be that serious about.
Well,
career.
If that's the case, I'm going to shoot the video, and you're going to get it how you wanted it, and then that's going to go. But if you want to create something cool, then let's sit down and talk about it.
Word. Let's put a plan together.
Exactly.
I like it. Now, do you prefer to have a clear vision for the video before the shoot, or do you like to improvise during the filming process?
Well, it all depends. So usually when I get the song, I'll vibe with it for a couple of days in the car, listen to it, and you know, things will come to me. Then we'll pick our locations. Sometimes they have specific spots they want, and then I have a bunch of locations that I can go to that I think, you know, sometimes I'll drive by a place and I'll throw a pin down. Yeah. You know, because you're just trying to find all those different spots. But yeah, there's definitely some improvisation on set. Yeah.
I like that.
Sometimes I'll be, oh, check this out. Let's do this. And then be like, you know.
Now, what about like the type of camera that you film with? Like, which camera do you like to film with right now, or you're filming with already? And what camera would you like to get eventually? Because cameras are very pricey. You know what I mean? There's cameras that go up to like 30K, 50K, like,
and it's not even it's not even the camera, it's the lenses.
Yeah, the lenses. Yeah.
So I started out with like a Canon T16. It was just a, you know, entry level camera.
The regular beginner level, right?
Yeah. And then I went to a Panasonic GH5,
nice,
the Lumix, which I finally started to get the look that I wanted. It was
the Lumix is pretty dope.
Yeah, it was 4K. You know, I'm looking at my videos I shot with the T16, and then I'm looking at the ones with the GH5, and I'm like, this is dope. This is how I want it. But it wasn't a full frame camera. Okay. So I used that for years. And the one thing about switching brands is now I had to buy an adapter.
Everything
so my Canon lenses are going to fit there. But once you put the Canon on the GH5, it crops it even more.
Right.
So then the time came and I said, you know what, I'm going back to Canon when the R6 came out. Yeah. That's what I shoot with now.
You fucks with Sony though? Sony cameras?
I don't, because I've
really?
No, I think they're beautiful cameras, but I'm a Canon guy. Like I don't want to go and learn a whole new camera,
right? That makes sense,
and stuff like that. So when I got the R6, I was like, this is really the look that I wanted. And I already had the Canon lenses. Yeah. So the only difference is the Canon I had before was an EF, and this is an RF. So they changed the whole lens system. So I sold all the EF stuff, sold the adapter, and then I started buying RF lenses.
Gotcha.
So the next camera I'm going to buy is the R5. Ooh, which is it's the more expensive version of the R6. Right. It shoots up to 8K. Yeah. And it just has like 120 slow motion in 4K. Right. This one only has, 1080 and 120, so
it's like endless information, right? Because not for nothing, I met you at the Motion Lounge. Shout out to Miss Rhodey at the showcase she had. Yeah, and I used the Sony A7 III. But I noticed, like, whenever you research Canon and Sony, they're like neck and neck. More or less,
they're definitely on the same wavelength. And I talk to Sony users, and they think, your camera's dope. And I think there's different qualities. Like the Sony, really, it's a real movie look to it,
right? Cinematic, right?
Oh yeah. But I mean, I can do that as well with mine. It's just you can. If I was looking at a Canon and looking at a Sony, I could tell you which one is which.
Oh,
there's that much of a difference.
That's crazy. What about like red eye cameras and shit like that? How do you feel about
Reds,
those?
I mean, they're expensive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's a different kind of camera. You're not doing handheld shit with a red. You know what I'm saying? One thing good that I do like about my R6, and I don't know if it's Sony has this, but it has unbelievable stabilization. Gotcha. So the body has stabilization, and so does the lens. So I can do shit like this, and it looks like it's on a gimbal. Oh, like I have a gimbal, but I don't use a lot. So everything you see is mostly handheld.
Yeah, me too. I got a gimbal. I don't even use the gimbal. I paid like almost $5. I got the DJI one, that big black gimbal. Yeah, and I don't even use that.
I just bought the Sculpt 2, and it's lightweight. It's nice to use. The funny thing though is when I go out to shows, I see these dudes with these huge two-handed gimbals filming a show. And I'm just standing like one hand like this. I'm like, just hold it steady.
Yeah. Like, it's that simple, right? Less is more, we could say, right?
I don't want to have to run through people with something like that. Like, if you're going to go do a show, you're going to run and gun. That's how it is.
Now, you and I both know, like, shooting a music video, it can be very pricey. Like, what challenges do you face when trying to shoot a music video on a tight budget?
Well, I mean, I have a set price list.
Right.
So when an artist reaches out to me and they say, what's the price? What's the budget going to be? I'll send them my price list. Right. And I have the gold package. I have the platinum package.
Oh, that's smart.
I have the budget package, which is, So it'll be like, I'll come to a show, I'll film the performance of the song, and then we'll go outside and do a couple takes, and it'll be less cost for you, and it'll still come out dope.
Gotcha.
You know, and then the platinum package is like that story idea. If we're going to do like a mini movie, it's twice the price of the gold package.
Absolutely.
You know, so
because there's more time that you're putting into it.
But I mean,
too.
I try to work with artists. I mean, not everybody has a ton of money.
Exactly.
So like, I'll do a deposit, and then and the way I do it is you pay end of day after shoot. I'm not going to chase people for money.
Yeah.
And it's happened. I've had people, I have videos that never got finished.
Like, I got you. You're now you're hitting them up for weeks.
All of a sudden, the phone don't work. I got no money.
Couldn't pay the
weed
bill
on the show. Like, I mean, come on. Like, so it's like, but I mean, I've had pretty good luck with people, you know?
And you're like, yo, I need the other half, bro. You fucking playing with my money. You
know
said
what?
it's a big worm at that point.
I've actually had people ask me for a treatment on a video.
Really?
And then they go shoot it with somebody else that was going to do it cheaper with my idea.
That's
so that
crazy.
Don't happen no more. No treatments unless I get at least half up front.
Yeah,
because
that's smart.
I'm not going to have somebody do that. Like, and just doing that's kind of shady.
Nah, I'm asking because, like, there's been times, like, I wanted to film, like, an all-out video, you know, with the fancy car, the hoes, it's some crazy shit in Miami on a yacht. And they're telling me, yo, you want some shit like that? That's like $5-10K, like a video like that, just to film some shit like that. Well, it's all who
you know. Do you know somebody with a yacht?
Yeah.
Can you rent it cheap? Like, I do out-of-state videos, but automatically on top of what the video is, flight, meals, hotel.
Yeah, you got to cover all these
transportation.
That's like, a fact.
It's I'm not paying out of pocket to do your video.
Exactly.
And I've done a couple. I did one in Atlanta. I've done one in Florida. So I mean, I do get out. I do get around.
I might have you film my next one because I started with music, if you don't know, but now I'm doing this full time. But I have a passion for music, so I'm probably going to drop in, but I definitely want you to film something.
All right, I'm going to say it on camera right now. If you do, I'll give you a good discount.
I bet. Y'all heard it here first on the Jmack Experience podcast. You already know you got an exclusive.
I can't go back on my word now.
Facts. Now, what's your approach to lighting and color in a music video? Because, lighting is very important.
Lighting is very important. I wasn't so good at it at first.
Right.
But I was able to work with a lot of different like bigger directors. Like, I'm not sure if you know Ben Proul. He does a lot of All Tokens videos. He's done a lot of Joyner Lucas's videos.
Oh shit! Shout outs to him. That's fire.
He's had me come up and be in Tokens videos. I was in Joyner Lucas's video, Ramen and OJ with Little Baby,
fire.
And I'm in like 3 scenes. And one, I'm walking up like a cop up to his thing, and then
dope.
I'm the cop in the background, and then I'm holding back the crowd. And like, so I've been to these big sets.
Yeah.
And he has a huge studio, so I see. I mean, but he also has 20 guys working for him.
Right.
But I see how they light things, and I try to take off of that. I watch a lot of videos, and my lighting is definitely getting better.
Yeah.
It's definitely getting better.
Yeah, the lighting.
So lighting is super important.
Yeah.
As far as color, I used to always shoot in a standard profile because I didn't know how to color grade.
Right.
And then I was like looking at other people's videos, and I'm like, man, how do
I get to that, right?
So Ray Waxhug is one of the first guys that was just like, wow, his videos, his coloring is amazing. Josh Bliss Lighton, Triller's Bliss.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite.
Yeah.
Like, he is dope. Ben Cassani is another one. These are like 3 of my top music video guys from around here.
I'm glad that you already got to that, because I was gonna ask you who inspires you, who's like your favorite, video.
Well, locally those guys, but if you're gonna talk favorite, like probably Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's dope.
You ever heard of Benji Films? He's pretty dope too. He does some dope shit.
Yeah.
That dude Benji Films was popping. He got some shit. He filmed some fire shit. Now, what changes have you seen in the music video industry over the past few years? Like, how was like the digital landscape? How has it changed from the way music videos are made today and consumed?
Well, here's the thing. There's an oversaturation of videographers out there.
Right.
I first started out, there was like 5 of us. We're like the top guys. And now it's like there's so many. And what they do is they undercut your prices, which hurts you.
Yeah, that's tough.
But the thing is you're going to go and spend money with somebody that's brand new, that's not that experienced. You're getting what you pay for.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've built a brand and a name in this business, and I've worked with a lot of people. Like,
right.
And you could ask anybody. I don't really have, I might have 1 or 2 bad reviews.
Yeah.
But
you got quality.
I've never been unprofessional. Yeah. I'm always on time. I'm early, if anything.
Oh, yeah. You were definitely early. You were early today. Shit.
Yeah, I learned that early on, man. You got to, like you have to, think of traffic. Anything can happen. I don't want to be there when people wait. I'm usually waiting on people, to tell you the truth. So it's it's definitely changed in that way.
Right.
And also, you know, a lot of people are kind of backing away from doing full length videos, and they're doing more like verse videos, which is like a 16 bar, and it's just quick, and you can just throw it on your reels. And sometimes they do better.
Like the shorts.
Yeah, because people's attention span, man, they don't got 4
now.
minutes of their life
That's
to watch a whole
different
video.
now,
But I can watch a 16 bar verse.
Yeah,
real quick,
facts.
you know, so I've been doing a lot of those, and you know, I'll work on a package for somebody else. Hey, we'll do 3 verses from 3 songs, and it'll cost you the same as a music video. So at least I'm gonna still get my money, and we can bang those up quick.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that whole thing with the short videos. Now, how do you feel about all these mic videos that people are doing now with the mic hanging and shit? I feel like it's become a thing now. Like a lot of people are doing that.
Yeah, but it's boring, man.
It's not really a music video. If you think about it.
You're putting a camera on a tripod.
It's easy.
Guys, it's the same background, the same mic. Like it's switch it up a little bit. Put some side view motion.
Go at the end of a fucking cliff at fucking.
And some of them isn't even a real mic. It's like it's like a green screen mic that just hangs in front.
That's crazy. It's different. Times are definitely changed.
I mean, I'm not going to put anybody down. For
everybody got their hustle,
and a lot of them they're doing them for real cheap, and it's good for artists to be able to get that stuff. So I'm not knocking that, but you know, it's a lot different than what I do.
Facts. You know? I definitely, because I remember like you said, there wasn't a lot of people that do music videos. When I first started doing music, even studios, to get to a music studio, forget about it. It was like a process.
Now they're a dime a dozen.
Yeah. So now it's like anybody that got a camera, now they're a music video director. You know, like it's definitely different now. Now, have you ever faced a situation where your original vision for a video had to be like significantly changed, and like how did you handle it? Like last minute is what I'm saying.
Not really.
Not really.
There's been, you know, usually I'll send out a rough cut.
Right.
And most of the time they're happy with it.
Okay.
Sometimes before I even add effects, they're like, oh, it's perfect. I'm like, okay.
Oh,
you know,
perfect.
like I'm not going to kill myself to do extra if you like it the way it is. Like it's all about the client. Like it's important. They have to be happy with it. It's not about what I think. It's about what they think. Yeah. But there's been ones where like I've had to change. You know, like there'd be so many different performances in certain locations where I would have to take them out, but not like change the entire
whole aspect of the video
of it. No, it's usually right on. If we write a treatment and we're going to do it that way, it's usually pretty close.
So you stick to the script more or less.
We try, but sometimes you might have to improvise.
Gotcha.
You know, if people don't show up, there's always that factor of, you know, I got 30 people coming in the video and 5 show up.
Right.
And I always say, listen, you're not going to get people to come in on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Unless you pay them.
Exactly. That's
the way
true.
it is.
Now, who have you worked with? I know you mentioned a few like major names earlier. Anybody else that you missed? Like, who have you worked with so far? Who would you like to work with in the future that you haven't got to work with yet?
Some of the bigger names I've worked with, Slane, Rex, Terminology.
Fire. Terminology. Shout out to him. I'm trying to get him on the podcast.
Term's my boy, man. Now, he just released an album. He put out 3
Technology, right? Yeah, that show's fire.
The summer series ones where he did the 3 different album covers, but the picture of the girl, him in the car, him in the
I've seen that.
That's my photo.
Oh, shit.
I don't normally take photos, but sometime that day I just took something and he was like, oh, I want to use
that's
this.
Fire, yo.
Yeah, but Term's dope, man. Like when I did my Off the Mic series when I first started, which I would do like this interview show and it would cut away to their videos and stuff, like he was one of the first guys to do it with me, and that was cool. But, you know, I've always supported. I go up and do his backpack.
Oh, that's fire. Yeah, the Good Dad gang that he got going on.
I've gone up and done that for him, and you know, he's always been straight with me. I call him, he answers. Like,
you gotta tell him about me. I'm trying to get him on the pod, man. He's fire. He's definitely one of the people. Like a lot of people don't really know, you know, because I guess. I mean, he is a major artist, but a lot of people, I feel like some people are just not hip to him. Like, you don't know what terminology is? Like, I'll mention them. They're like, I don't even. I'm like, yo, you need to look him up.
So, you know some more people I work with. I did a video featuring Onyx last year.
Onyx, damn, that's crazy.
And I did that with Massacre, and he's out of Taunton. So it was a feature on his song. I did a couple with Rusty Jukes.
Oh, fire.
I just did one with Ill Bill. I
Bill.
did one with Big Shug.
What? It's a big name, though. Big Shug, the battle rapper?
Big Shug from Gangstar.
Oh, shit. That's crazy. Okay, gotcha. That's crazy.
And did one with Elder Sensei of the Artifacts.
Yeah.
The Artifacts. One with Daddy-O of Stetsasonic. And, so pretty much so.
You got some OGs in there.
One of the bigger artists I work with locally, originally from the creators, is XL the Beast.
Yeah.
Now, I started working with him about 2 years ago, and he's like one of my best friends.
Wow.
he's somebody that he's in sobriety. He helped me get into sobriety.
Yeah.
And he's super talented.
Yeah.
Like bars for days, and the hooks that he sings,
crazy,
like smooth as butter.
Yeah.
So he's the one that got me most of those features. He got me Big Sugar, he got me Rusty Jukes, he got me Ill Bill.
Shout out to him.
Also did a video featuring Chuck D.
Oh, so, Chuck D there for Public Enemy?
Yeah,
Holy
shit. With Black Medine. They were on his label. So I did that. And, it's great. It's like, growing up.
That's what I was going to say. Growing up, seeing these people on TV, and now you're working with them.
One of the first big shows I ever did, and it was all by chance from a friend of mine that knew the guy who does the Art of Rap show. And he says, listen, it's coming to Boston. Do you want to come in and film? And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah, and you can bring a couple people with me. And I'm like, really? So I brought another videographer, Carl Benecke, and a really dope photographer, John Mooney.
Nice.
So we went, and it was Rakim.
Rakim, the guy. You met Rakim?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's fire.
So when they brought us in, they put us in a green room in the back.
Yeah.
And, next is Raekwon and Ghostface is right next to me. Bone Thugs and Harmony, Rakim, EPMD, Slick Rick.
Man, some legends up in that shit.
And Ice-T was there because it's kind of his thing. And he came out and he did Colors.
Oh, Colors. That shit was a banger.
He wasn't even supposed to perform.
No way.
So that was really dope. But here's the thing about that show, and this is the one lesson I learned early on, that you always double and triple back up your stuff. I triple back up now.
Oh, I was hearing this the other day. Give us the game.
So I was shooting all the close stuff.
Right.
Carl was shooting all the far away stuff. And then John Mooney was just taking pictures.
Right.
So I lost all my shit.
I was going to say, did you look, get the fuck out of here.
And I had all shout outs for them too, but the shout outs I had saved into another file. So I didn't lose the shout outs.
Oh my God.
So thank God for Carl. He had all the...
Luckily, he has some of the footage.
And I had the audio from the soundboard, so it was all clean. So he saved me on that one. So shout out Carl.
Shout out to Carl. Yo, you know what's funny that you said, because I was watching a video the other day. They say you should back up your stuff like 2-3 times, like on different hard drives.
Yeah, I got...
and you're mentioning it now.
I learned through the days, like I don't run a bunch of drives off my computer. I got 3 SSDs inside.
Right.
And then I have unpluggable externals.
Right.
So what I'll do is when I come home, the minute I come home...
Right away.
I download that footage. I charge my batteries.
Yeah.
Because I'm ready to go anytime. So once that goes in, it goes into one drive, I unplug it. It goes into another drive, I unplug it.
Man, you just gave us some game right there. I appreciate that. So now there's no way you can lose the footage, more or less, right? Is what you're saying.
No.
Yeah,
unless there's a fire. If there's a fire, then you're screwed. Nothing you can do there.
Yo, that's crazy. Now, do you allow artists to use real guns in their music videos? And like, if they do, like, how do you feel being behind the camera when you're shooting the video?
No.
You don't yell at them at all? No, yeah. Because people were doing that shit for a while.
There is a video that I was actually an extra in
for
my boy K Daver out of New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And he worked at a gun store and he has all guns. And in the video, I was like this doctor who sold his boy like OxyContin. And I'm in bed with my wife and he comes in and he puts the gun in my mouth.
Yeah.
And it was real.
Yeah.
And I was still scared. He showed me there was nothing in it, but I wanted it to be real for the video. So I let him do it. And he was like a gun expert. So I was
anything could go wrong though. You never look what happened to Bruce Lee's son.
He made sure. He showed me everything. He clicked it. I'm like, okay.
Oh shit.
But no, I don't want to deal with any real guns on set. Plus, I'm an ex-con. I can't be around that.
You can't be around that. You get arrested. You get. Well, we don't want to incriminate nobody.
I've done a few with they've had fake guns and stuff like that.
Yeah,
prop real and stuff like that. They do prop guns and stuff. Yeah, but. Yeah, I don't want any guns being pointed at me as I'm shooting. Yeah. I don't know what the hell is going on that side.
And you never know. They could by accident. People could shoot you by accident too.
And nowadays it's not even good to put a gun on your video because it can get flagged and taken down. Like
exactly.
I do a lot of editing for videos. The guys like, oh, can you take this gun out? Or can you take this smoke out? It's like they're so strict now.
Yeah, now it's different. Yeah. Because you remember back, you ever watch Smack DVD?
Yeah.
Yo, back in the day, they had mad guns in that shit. People in there, mad big ass guns, like sawed off shit. And it just, Smack a real, shout outs to Smack. Like, people don't know the history of Smack. Like, now he's doing the battle shit, but he did some wild shit back in there. Imagine all the people with guns pointed and you're behind the camera.
Yeah, don't thanks.
Now, how would you like to describe your filmmaking style and how has it evolved since when you first started to now?
It's kind of hard to describe my style. I think everybody that does this has their own style.
Right.
I like to do a lot of movement. I like a lot of movement in my videos. I try to get really interesting angles.
Right.
And it's like I said, everybody has their own style. Like I've had people say, "Oh, can you come shoot a video with me?" And I'd be working with somebody at the time. Like, all right, I'm going to send him out and shoot it. And like, no, I want you to shoot it because I want your vision. I want your style of music video.
Right.
And I don't even know where I adapted my style from. I just think I think it's just shooting what I think is cool.
So you just go with the flow pretty much.
Yeah.
Whatever works. You edit it to your liking, and then you just go with it.
Yeah. And when it comes to the editing process, it's funny because when I first started,
I hate editing.
I do and I don't.
Yeah, I want someone to edit for me.
When I first started, I hated it.
Yeah,
because the first video I ever did, it took me a full month.
Yeah, it's time consuming.
And the thing is, I'd shot like 25 different takes of the performance.
Holy shit!
I didn't realize that I got to go through every single one of these takes, take out all the bad pieces. So now, I'll get 4 or 5.
You just keep it simple.
Keep 4 or 5, shoot a bunch of B-roll, and then what I'll do is I'll stack them. I'll go through, I'll take the best parts out, go to the next one, take the best parts out, all the way down. And then where I have spaces,
you're giving us game.
That's where my B-roll is going to go.
And you put it all together like that.
And then I'll send the rough cut, then I'll color it, and then I'll add effects. I never do effects until I get the final edit from the person. And before I now have a studio in my basement so I can have clients come and sit, and I get the 60-inch TV. They can sit on the couch and we can just go through it together and like snap like that quick.
Right.
But I lost my train of thought. I do this
You were basically saying how you finalize it, that you add the effects.
So if you add effects on something stuff's going to be taken out, I'm not going to waste all my time putting something on a clip, which, it slows down the whole rendering process.
And it makes the file bigger, too.
So, like, once I know that it's a final, that's when I'm going to go in and start adding my effects. And I'm not really a heavy effects guy.
Yeah.
Like, there's some pretty cool stuff I've done, but they're very basic.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's the film work.
I like it.
Like, I see so many videos with just so much heavy effects and crazy stuff. And I think what they're doing in what I think is they're dressing it up to make the song better.
Yeah, because the song sucks. Right?
If the song is good,
that's a fact.
You don't need...
It's just a clean visual, right?
Like a nice, beautiful, film-worthy visual is what you need. Like,
that's real right there. Yeah, because sometimes you see videos, right, and it's like, it's too much shit going on.
Sliding over here, and he's going here, and he's going in his eye, and then it's open.
Yeah. Like broken glass, and they pick it up.
I don't think you need all that. Like, it's just my opinion. I mean, some people that really good at it, and I just think it's you don't need it. Like,
exactly.
It's about the music. It's not about the video. The video is just to portray who you are and you performing it.
Exactly.
And if it's a cool enough song that you can actually have a story to go with it, then it's going to make it even better.
Absolutely. I agree.
You want to do a video with a nice cinematic storyline to it? Come see me.
Yeah.
You want heavy effects and sliding all across the thing, going through eyeballs?
You're not the guy.
I'll send you somewhere else.
See, I like that.
I know people.
At least you're like not money hungry either. Like, you know what you're good at, and then whatever else you feel like you can't take that project, you pass it on.
I don't like turning down work, but if somebody wants something specific that I can't do, I've had people ask for some crazy shit, like Steven Spielberg shit.
And you're like, bro, it's a music video.
What are you talking about? I'm one guy with a camera. I don't have like CGI
big
technology. Like, if somebody wants heavy effects and cool animation and stuff like that, I'll send them to Hush. Yeah. Hush will fuck that shit up. Like,
and now the budget's going way up now. That's the problem.
Dude, he had a video where he was like, he was inside a glass on a table.
Oh, that's crazy.
He does some crazy shit. But he's also somebody that's been on a computer since he was like 9-10 years old.
So he's on a whole nother level.
He's been on a computer. Like, I started late. So
And you do some good shit. I've been watching some of your stuff because I did my research before you came in. I must say, you got some clean shots, videos dope, everything is fire. We're going to get into Album of the Week real quick.
Album of the week on the Jmack Experience Podcast.
Album of the week this week is Aquarius by Logic. You fuck with Logic?
I do.
Yeah, he got some shit. Have you heard the new album?
I have not yet.
Check it out when you get a chance. We're going to get into Movie of the Week.
Movie of the week on the Jmack Experience Podcast.
Movie of the week this week is Wolfman. It's a suspense thriller. It's
I have not seen it yet, but I plan to.
Yeah. You a big movie guy? Being that you do film, obviously.
Oh my God, you have no idea.
Yeah.
That's like
a whole nother conversation.
When I didn't have friends when I was a kid, my mother would drop me off at the theater on a Sunday in the morning. I'd see 5 fucking movies.
Wow.
And then she'd pick me up at the end of the day. Like that was my school.
That's
was my
great.
school. But yeah,
That's
still to this day, I feel like the quality of film, like there's just so much.
It's like dumbed down now,
straight
right?
to DVD.
Yeah.
Like Tubi is just terrible.
It's fast now too. Like a movie comes out in theaters in like 1 month, it's already on a DVD.
Yeah. And I've been an extra in a lot of different movies. I was in Black Mass. I was in the Ghostbusters Girl version. Like quick little shots. But I mean, like I was in the movie Challenges that got nominated for some Golden Globes, and we sat there in the tennis court for a week. It was like $1,200.
Damn.
And I got to meet Zendaya and all that. So it's I like to just see that
just to see the whole thing. And then when you see it in film, right? You're like, did I make the cut?
And Ghostbusters was in it was a green screen studio, and it was like a New York street, and it was crazy to see how they flying across the thing on those wires. And
that's how it was.
I love that shit.
I was an extra too in sorry to cut you. I was an extra too in Good Burger too. Okay, you know, mad people in Rhode Island went there.
A couple of my friends.
But I was in the scene where they throwing the burgers and the robots are like spitting the burgers out and shit. Yeah. That was dope to see the burgers flying and shit.
I bet Hush was right next to you.
Yeah, that shit was fly. I was on like 3 scenes, and then I watched the whole movie. I'm like, damn, I didn't even make the fucking cut.
The movie was bad.
Yeah. I felt like it was rushed, but you know, being a kid, I got to meet Keenan and Kel. Like it was like a very.
I heard they were mad cool too.
Yeah, they were mad chill, mad cool. We took pictures with them. Like they were fire. It was a good experience. Now, what's next for SandoFilms, man? I know that I covered mostly everything that you've been doing, but anything else that I didn't cover or that I might have missed?
What do you mean? Like, what's the next level?
What do you got next going on? Like any shows, music videos, any big projects?
I have some music videos coming out. I just did one for a producer, Abstract Minor, featuring her brother and Brandy Blaze.
Nice.
And we shot that over at Ariel, Art by Ariel on
nice,
Main
nice,
Street.
Nice.
So I'm working on that. I just shot a video for a new singer named Dree. She's unbelievable voice, super talented. Wow. She has a great look. We shot it very vintage, like style.
Shout out to
her. And then shout out to Remy TV. She had me come and do the 2 ciphers that are going to premiere at the awards show on April 19th, 2025 at the PPAC. Yeah. And we did a male cipher and a female cipher. And
that was yesterday, actually, right?
Sunday.
Oh, Sunday. Okay.
And they came out fire. You know, she was stressing about it. And I was like, listen, I got this.
I got you.
You bring the people, you get it recorded, and you just sit back and relax, and I will handle everything.
Yeah.
And we did it good. We got it done. And shout out to Remy. You know,
shout outs to her.
I met her like a year ago, and she's just been great, like super supportive. And you know, it's good to get plugged in down in Rhode Island.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, I've only been here for a couple of years, but I've worked with very few artists down here because I'm not so plugged into the scene. So
right.
I'm trying to get there. That's why I'm on your podcast.
Nah, I appreciate you, bro. And your vibe is excellent. And Remy TV's episode will be dropping soon, episode 58. She was just on the podcast as well. And then make sure you get your tickets for the I think it's the Viewers Choice Awards is what she's calling it, which is
the Remy TV Influencer Awards.
Okay, my bad. Let's get that correct. Remy TV Influencer Awards. Get your tickets. Yeah, it's gonna be a vibe. Like So yeah, she was telling me all about it too, and like she got a lot on her plate right now. You know what
she's
I mean?
Good people. I talked to her on the way down here, and she said very good things about you.
Oh, I appreciate that. Now, where can we follow you social media wise if people want to contact you to do a video or any type of film project?
Most of my traction is on my Scott Sandinato page on Facebook.
Okay,
but I do have a page, SandoFilms Productions. Instagram is at SandoFilms Productions.
Make sure y'all follow him, man.
TikTok at SandoFilms. You know.
Yo, how do you feel about that TikTok ban?
I didn't even care. I
don't use TikTok like that either.
I don't like the format. Like it's just so busy. Like I just want, like, I'll go in and just drop something in there just to drop something. Right. Like it's Instagram and Facebook for me mostly.
Yeah. See me, I'm Instagram, YouTube. I'm trying to master the YouTube because I really want to start monetizing. You know what I mean? So being like someone that I'm doing podcasts, so this is like an hour, 45 minutes. So YouTube's like my go-to right now, and then Instagram more for like socializing.
So also tomorrow I'm going to be at Gillette Stadium.
Nice.
And I'm filming a presentation from 3-time Olympian Didi Trotta.
Ooh, okay. Big flex.
So
I like that.
I've never shot in Gillette.
Really?
And I think they're going to let me use my drone to do a couple flyovers.
Oh, that's dope. What kind of drone do you have?
I got the Mavic Pro 2.
Oh shit, I had the first one and I ended up
you know what? That's where I spent my stimulus money on that first $1,200 check because I bought the drone.
Yeah, that's dope. And then I bought it, right? And I ended up selling it for like $400. Like it was like way less. I paid like almost $1,200 with tax and everything. It's just I was too scared to fly it because it's like, yo, it's $1,000 you're flying. Like, and people like, yo, just fly that shit. And like, I just got rid of it. Like, how'd you learn how to master the drone?
Well, you know what? I was a kid. I used to do the airplanes. The
simulator?
The radio controlled airplanes.
Oh, okay.
That shit was hard to fly. Like when I got the drone, it just went up and it just sat there. It doesn't
like,
move
wow,
unless you tell it to
crazy.
go left or right. It's not that hard. I mean, I'm not flying through buildings at 60 miles
people
an hour.
do some crazy
but
shit.
I can do basic stuff and make it look cool in a video. You know, that's basically. And mostly I use it a lot now for corporate video. Like I do a lot of and that's something new I've been doing is corporate, which is, you know, it's really good money. But like doing, you know, promos for dentist office.
Oh, that's dope. Commercials and
businesses and stuff like that. A couple restaurants I've done stuff for, a couple hair salons.
Yeah,
and it's a lot easier work. There's no effects.
Yeah.
You know, you're just doing basically B-roll and maybe a little interview with some voiceover. But I do like doing that type of stuff.
Especially, I think with real estate shit, the drone is like a major thing because they want you to show the houses and all that. So you use the drone a lot, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. Now, are you picky on who you collaborate with, or it really doesn't matter? Like, you know, if people want to collaborate,
you know, when
with
I first started out, it was all, you know, I was trying to build a career and be able to pay my bills at the same time. So I would take everything. I would hate a song. Yeah. Still do the video just to make the money.
Yeah.
But I think now at this point in my career, I can kind of pick and choose.
Gotcha.
You know, and sometimes it's hard to tell an artist that you don't fuck with their music. Because you don't want to be like, oh, fuck SandoFilms. You wouldn't do my video.
And imagine it goes viral.
I don't know why. But like, there's some bad shit out there.
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
You have to think about it. I'm putting my name on this too.
That's true.
Yeah, you're paying for it, but I mean, this one's I've left my name off.
Yeah, yo, that's true. Yo, bro, you got me fucking dying. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? At least you're being real, right? Like,
if you're not real, then what's the sense?
That's a fact.
Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it and be like, you know, I listen. One time, this kid out of Lowell, I'm not going to say his name, white kid. He sends me a song, and he's like, well, he booked me first, and then he sent me the song. And he's N-bomb, and he's a white kid. Oh, yeah, that's bad. Like, so I told him I broke my lens. I'm like, I can't make it to the shoot. Like, I didn't even know what to say, but I was like, I can't get behind that, man. Like, it was like every other word he was dropping N-bombs. Like, you can't do that. Crazy. Like, no way.
I wonder what happened to him now. Where is he now? Make sure you comment on the bottom.
Well, no, I suggested a guy up in that area.
Oh,
he's like, I can't. He's after me. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Shit,
like,
that's crazy. Yo, can we agree that all the experiences that you went through got you to where you are today?
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, a lot of people say, do you have regrets in life?
Right.
And, you know, I look back on my, 15, 20-year criminals and going to jail and stuff like that. And I think of it as like, if I didn't go all through that, I wouldn't have gotten to this point.
Facts.
You know, even though I had the dream as a kid, I didn't have the motivation. And I think jail really gave me that motivation to really understand that I had to do something with my life. Like I don't want to be that guy working at bagging groceries at 60 years old. And,
Walmart.
Living in a room and how, like, I just didn't want to do that, man. Like I wanted to, like, going to a club and being a drug dealer, you get that, you feel that power. Like, I wanted to feel that, but in a way where I was respected for doing something positive.
I like that.
So, after a couple of years, I almost quit doing
Really?
this. Yeah, like, so what happened was there used to be a underground radio show in Boston called Overdog Radio.
Yeah.
And it was Champ Chuck. He was the host. Now, I never met the guy. And I was listening to it one night, and I was feeling down. I was like, I'm not really thinking I'm going to be able to do this. And then all of a sudden, he was there with an artist who I was going to be filming her show.
Yep.
And he says, oh, yeah, SandoFilms. He goes, I see him. He's out here. Wow. He's putting in that work.
So that gave you that push, right?
You follow him. He's out here really putting in that work,
Nice.
and he's dope. And I was just like, I almost cried. Like,
Yeah,
I was
'cause it
at
feels
the
good.
point where I was like, I don't know if this is for me. And then somebody who didn't even not know me to say that they knew about me
That's
and
all you
saw
needed.
what I was doing, right there.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, especially doing anything entertainment-wise, you could get to those moments where you're like, am I doing the right thing? Like, maybe this ain't for me, right? But it's like they always say, it's at that point that if you give up, you never know what could have happened. Or if you keep pushing, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like that make it or break it moment for a lot of
and
people.
You'll have like I'll drop a video or I'll have somebody say, "Oh, I'm shooting with SandoFilms next week," and there'll be like comments saying, "Oh, he's the best in the city."
Right there, that motivates you.
I never claim I'm the best in the city. I know that I'm
You're
good.
humble.
I know that I'm good.
Yeah.
I mean, not being nominated for Boston Music Awards, stuff like that. Those things, they don't really mean anything. It's not going to change the business for you. Right. But like to have people out there respecting you and seeing those comments,
it's priceless.
It makes me feel good. And I know that I'm not the best. There's guys way 100 times better than me.
Absolutely.
But I know that I'm relative. I know that people know that I respect the hip hop culture. Yeah. Because even though I'm out here making money and building a career, I still go out to hip hop shows just to film it because I love hip hop. Yeah. And then putting that content out for people who couldn't see it. Yeah. So they know that I give back to the culture because I care about it. Like I grew up on it.
And like you just said, like that's how people know if you're really doing it because you love it or it's just because it's something to do or because of the money. You know what I'm saying?
It's not. It started out
exactly
with
passion.
my love for hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. Now, any advice out there for those who may be experiencing the same situations that you went through or are going through right now?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're living that criminal life or if you're living that life in drugs, there's a better way. Yeah. You can ask Mathematics.
Facts.
You can ask Exit Fame. You can ask Slain. Yeah. You can ask XL the Beast. You can ask Leeds. These are all these guys that, they thought that they needed drugs to do, you think you're not going to be that creative anymore. Yeah. But you know what? What they say is, it is better. Your life does get better when you get rid of those things. Yeah. If you're doing criminal shit, you're going to get caught eventually. And you're going to go to jail. And I'm going to tell you, jail ain't no place to be.
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
I've seen people walking in there thinking it was cool as shit to be in jail. A month later, they realize it's not.
A month later, they're washing someone's drawers.
I've seen people do that. It's the worst food in the world. You're away from the people you love. No girls. Like, it's miserable. It's dirty in there. It sucks. Yeah. So, like, if you do go there, you will get that wake up or not. Yeah. You'll get that wake up call.
I like that.
So my message is, there is a better way. You just have to get your mind focused
positive. You got to stay positive.
And don't let other people influence you to not do something that you think might be right in your life.
Exactly. Yeah. Always be a leader, right? Not a follower. We learned that. We learned that from the beginning, no? Any last words or special shout outs that you would like to mention before we sign off?
If you tell somebody you have a dream and they tell you,
I like it,
you're not going to make it, prove them wrong. As far as shout outs, I want to shout out Leeds Edutainment. I want to shout out, actually, I meant to talk about it, but Rolly Batto. She's one of the first Rhode Island artists I'm going to be working with.
Nice.
They're super talented. Some great artists that I work with is Main Regret, Brandy Blaze. I've been with her for years doing stuff.
I seen Main Regret at the show too.
Oh yeah, she's dope. She's dope as hell. Got to shout out XL the Beast.
Shout out to them.
Mr. PSA. One of my best friends in the scene. I met him long back. He's the host with the most. This guy can freestyle for hours, but he's not a rapper. Yeah. But he's one of my closest people. Like, we do brother checks, and like he's always been supportive of what I do, and it means a lot.
I like it.
Shout out to Leeds as well.
Yo, shout outs to all them people, man. It was an honor once again to have you on the show, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, man.
Absolutely. And this is one of many more to come. I always tell people that because it's all about building with me. Like, I don't want people to feel like they just came to the podcast and then peace, I never talk to you again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when I go out and shoot that video for Eminem, I'll come back and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, fast. Yeah, you never know. I mean, you worked with Jonah Lucas. That's fucking amazing.
Well, I did a video of Bizarre. I forgot to mention that, but he's
Bizarre. Oh shit, I'm a big M.
Shout out to Fury, Jay Fury. He got me that video.
See, I knew you was forgetting some gems. Yeah. Anything else you want to mention before we sign off?
No, I think that's it.
I bet. I just want to make sure.
Oh, listen, I'm doing a winter special on music videos through the end of February.
Nice.
So if you want to get a discount, now's the time to hit me up and get it done.
Did we just get an exclusive on the Jmack Experience podcast? First time you mentioned this?
On a podcast, yeah, but it's on my social media.
So send me, if you could do me a favor too, send me your price list. I'm going to put it as we speak about it. I'm going to put it so people can check the prices and all that. And if they're interested, that way they don't waste your time, right? Because, sometimes people hit you up, it's just a waste of time.
Yeah,
no offense. True. Yo, episode 62, SandoFilms. You already know, man. We're signing out the Jmack Experience Podcast. Gra!
Thanks for coming on the Jmack Experience Podcast. Be sure to come on for another episode every single week. Until next time, peace.
Black Sheep Sea Moss. It'll make you want to slap your daddy.
Oh, harder